So you might know that the new Netflix drama series House of Guinness comes out today. I'm really excited about it, but I actually haven't even seen the trailer. I've been avoiding stuff about it. So I thought I would watch the trailer and live react to it to see can I point out any historical inaccuracies or anything strange or funny about the trailer. I'm an armchair historian. I might have to look up bits as I go along, but if there's anything I'm suspicious about, I'll call it out. Also, caveat, just to say as a disclaimer, I know this is a drama series. I know that the makers of it are going to take artistic license and it's not going to match up with the exact story of the Guinness family. But it's always fun to see Dublin on camera. It's always fun to see a historical view of Dublin, and I'm going to see how it stacks up against the real Guinness story. Okay, I'm excited. Let's do it. Now, I will say I did look up a synopsis before, so I kind of have a vague idea of what they're trying to do with the series. From what I know, it centres around a particular generation of Guinness. Benjamin Lee Guinness's kids, and they're setting it up as like a Succession style thing. That's kind of all I know. So let's kick off and see what we got. Okay, pausing there. So cool already, right? Like, this is James's Gate. Like, I just love seeing how people depict Dublin, or historical Dublin, I suppose, because one of my favourite things is imagining what a place may have looked like 100 years ago, 150 years ago. And I think this is meant to be around the 1860s, 1870s. I also used to live near enough James Gate. I lived in the Liberties for 6 or 7 years. So this was very much my stomping ground. And I would always try and picture what this might have looked like in its heyday. So anyway, that's so cool. My little nerd synapses are going off. Okay, we'll crack on.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to mourn the death of a man who brought peace and prosperity to the people of Dublin.
Okay, what's cool about this is I'm pretty sure this is the funeral of Benjamin Lee Guinness. So he, I think, was the grandson of the original Arthur Guinness who started Guinness. So I'm assuming this is St. Patrick's Cathedral in Dublin, or at least it's meant to be St. Patrick's Cathedral in Dublin. I don't know for sure that his funeral was there. I assume it was because Benjamin Lee Guinness, he was like the first big philanthropist of the Guinness family. St. Patrick's Cathedral, I'm assuming his funeral was there because he also pumped what would like the equivalent of millions into the restoration of St. Patrick's Cathedral. And what's cool is that if you go into St. Patrick's Cathedral now, I'm speaking too fast, so I'm getting excited. If you go in now and look at the tiles, the tile work you'll see around the cathedral, that was a part of the renovation that was funded by this man, Benjamin Lee Guinness. And he included a part of the Guinness coat of arms, the Guinness family coat of arms in the tiling. I think it's like a boar. So look out for a boar in the tiling. And there's also a section of the tiles that are intentionally mismatched and don't line up with everything else. And that was to symbolise that no man is perfect, only God is perfect. Anyway, let's crack on. Very cool funeral cortege.
Our thoughts and prayers are most of all with Sir Benjamin Lee Guinness's 4 children.
There you go, Benjamin Lee Guinness. And he had 4 kids. Already I'm loving the aesthetic of this.
Brewery concerns to my 2 sons, Edward and Arthur, jointly and equally. We expected something more. I feel it wise.
Okay, so we're into the Succession style storyline I think they're setting up. I think, so the 2 sons are getting, they said the 2 sons are getting the fortune, okay.
Not to burden Benjamin and Anne with the temptations that come with fortune. Do you really think you can just put it in
Okay, so they're really setting it up. Okay, so as far as I know, I don't think it happened exactly like this anyway. So yes, Benjamin Lee Guinness had 4 kids. Anne, Ben Jr., Arthur, and I think Cecil. Let me just double check. Sorry, Edward Cecil Guinness. And they would have all gotten money, you know. So Edward Cecil Guinness, he was made the head of the Guinness Brewery. So he, you know, took over the business, would have been getting a good salary. He made it a massive global company. The other one, Arthur Guinness, he would have gotten a massive chunk of money as well. I don't know so much about Benjamin Jr. I think he had alcohol problems. Maybe he didn't have much of a capacity to manage the business, but he would have gotten money. And then Anne, Sorry, I'm just reading here. I had to Google it because I was like, did women get inheritance back then? So Anne Lee Guinness, she got married and she got a dowry. So she didn't really get an inheritance as such, but she would have had a bit of cashola. Anne actually became really, really famous for being probably the most charitable of all the Guinnesses throughout all the generations. She did a lot for Dublin's poor and sick. Sorry, just to quickly add in, because I didn't mention it, Edward Cecil Guinness was the guy who founded the Ivy Trust, which basically built social housing for all of the Liberties. He really took care of his workers. There was about 5,000 people working in Guinness at that point, so he made sure that they were all housed, and also built lots of public spaces, public facilities like the Ivy Baths, things like that. So let's go, we're only a minute in.
The death of your father.
Famous James's Gate again, looks so cool, love all the fashion.
A gift from Mr. Guinness. From a representative of the Dublin poor.
The children Sir Benjamin leaves behind are weak and divided. Now is the time to use that weakness.
What?
You think there'll be trouble today?
The man's name is Guinness.
Okay,
Of course.
I have to pause there. I have no idea what's going on here. So I think they're framing it as the death of Benjamin Sr. has been the impetus for some sort of rebellion or revolution or something, and Dublin's poor are standing up. I don't know if anything like that happened. I don't think it did. From that quick clip there, it looked like there was people at the GPO with like harps and I guess fighting for freedom and the Irish Revolution. Now, we would have been about 50, 60 years off that. I mean, there was always kind of little mini insurrections popping up. I don't know for sure if that happened, but anyway, I think they're just trying to weave in the political tensions of the time with the Guinness story. But they're making this look like Les Mis, like Guinness died and the kids are falling apart and now there's an uprising. I don't think that happened. If anyone has more information, please put it in the comments, because I'd be interested.
I'll be fucking
Okay, back to it.
The black flag of Guinness on American soil.
Right, they're talking about the expansion into America, which is cool. Everyone's very attractive. I don't think they're as attractive as this.
The chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and we have some weak links among us.
I mean, it looks fun. I'm really excited to watch it. So one of the sons, Arthur, who's in this, he would be one of the sons that got the inheritance. He is Lord Ardilaun. So Lord Ardilaun lived in Ivy House on Stephen's Green. It's now a government building. It's a gorgeous building. But he was the Guinness who decided to buy Stephen's Green. Back then it would have been a private park just for very rich people. And he was the one that decided to buy it and renovate it. Well, is that what you call a park? No, do it up. I don't know, make it fit for purpose. And he gave it back to the people of Dublin, which is just the loveliest thing. So like, they were a very good family. They did so much for Dublin. And a lot of the Dublin we enjoy today was because of this particular generation of the Guinness family. Well, them and their dad. So anyway, okay, back to it.
Spes mea endeo. Love is our hope.
Walk away now, and you're gonna start a war.
I'm excited. Like, look, it looks a little bit silly, but anything that will show me Dublin in a different time, I am all about. It's interesting, you don't actually see any pints of Guinness in this trailer. I don't know if you will in the series. I wonder what Guinness, like the actual Guinness brand, what involvement they had with this show. I don't know. But yeah, look, this is pretty exciting. I like it. What's nice is that not too long ago, I actually went to visit Benjamin Lee Guinness's grave. He and I think some of the family are buried up in Mount Jerome Cemetery in Harold's Cross, which is one of my favourite like spooky cemetery walks this time of year. So worth going up to visit them. I'm really excited about seeing this. I will watch it. I'm glad that it happened. Anything that makes me see Dublin in any sort of historical sense, I'm all about it. And I can't wait to watch it. And I'm going to be speaking a little bit about it next week on the radio, I think. So I better binge it now in the next couple of days. Anyway, let me know what you think. And if you have anything to add, pop below.